Okay, so I just got home a couple of minutes ago from buying plants. I did get two. So the first plant that I got was this Monstera deliciosa, and it's a little bit big so you can't see it too well on camera. To go back, actually there's some pretty big leaves, so it has a new leaf there, a new leaf unfurling. But I got this guy, and then I also got this guy. So this is, I believe, a heartleaf philodendron, well, the variegated version of a heartleaf philodendron. And I got it mainly because look at this leaf that's split in the middle. Absolutely wow, and the variegation on the rest of it is also really pretty. But like I said, I just got home from buying them and I was going to do some things to them, but I realized that I probably should film this because someone might not know that when you buy plants, you have to do some things before you add them to the rest of your collection for several reasons. Because first of all, they might have pests, which I will already say that this one definitely has. This has, I believe there's spider mites, like 99% sure there are spider mites. The Monstera deliciosa, I don't think it has any actual pests. It does have a couple of cobwebs though, because literally when I picked it up there was a ginormous spider on the underleaf of it. And I almost touched it. It was very traumatizing, but I left that in the shop. But I don't think there's any other pests, but just to be sure, I will put both of these plants in quarantine, aka I will keep them away from the rest of my plants for a couple of weeks. Before I put them into quarantine, I will first of all shower them. I will take them into the shower and spray them down really well, and it will help initially clean the leaves and any debris and things that it has on it. And then especially on this one, I will take care and I will do a spider mite treatment that I did also on a little while ago on my rubber tree that had a mild case of spider mites. So I will show you what I do and how I do it. So first off, I'm going to take both of these plants to my bathroom, into the shower, and spray them down, and then I'll bring them back here and continue from there on. So I've just rinsed them off really well under the shower with quite a powerful setting, and you can see they're all wet. Now you don't want to leave your leaves and foliage wet, so I will dry them off. This has basically done the trick for the most part of clearing all the bugs and debris and things that I could see. However, I will still give it the spider mite treatment. Before I do any of that though, I will wipe off the water off the leaves with a microfiber cloth, or sometimes I just do it with some tissues, but trying to be like eco-friendly, not to create more waste than necessary, you know? This doesn't have to be too precise, by the way. This is just so that they don't stay super wet and they don't drip all over my desk. So now I will put the Monstera aside and I will deal with this guy. So what is my spider mite treatment? I use the formula that Heart-Shaped Leaves did a video on. I will link that video if you want more specifics on the proportions and things, because I've forgotten by now. This is pre-mixed, but essentially it is alcohol, water, and a tiny bit of soap. A lot of people say that you shouldn't use detergent and soap and stuff on your leaves because A, B, and C reasons. If you don't do it too often, if you don't do it too much, if you don't do it in a too high concentration, it will be fine. Your plants are going to be fine, especially if you don't do it like every day, all the time. Obviously, if you soap down your plant leaves every single day, that is going to be an issue. But I have not had an issue with this before, so this is what I use and what I recommend. So what I will do, I have it in this tiny spray bottle, and I am going to spray the whole plant everywhere, the leaves, the underleaves, the vines, the nooks and crannies, and let it sit for like a minute or two. So I will take it and just spray it with this solution. Now what this will do is, I think I'm spraying my microphone. It's fine, it's just hitting the guard thing. It's fine. Also, this is dripping everywhere. I do have a little tray underneath, but it's not that big. This just covers all bases. Anything that's hydrophobic, the alcohol and soap will take care of. So now that this has been sitting for about a minute or something, I will take a paper towel and I will take a Q-tip, because this is a small plant and there are tiny nooks and crannies, and you need to wipe everything on this plant. The leaves, the underleaves, the stalks, the tiny little crevices, because those crevices is where the spider mites or whatever bug actually is going to hide in, and that's going to be your downfall. If you do this treatment and then you suddenly see that they have returned, it's because they were hiding in those tiny nooks and crannies. So I'm going to take this wipe it down. Actually, I will put on gloves because bugs are kind of disgusting, even though especially when they're super tiny. Okay, so I got some gloves. I will now start wiping. Okay, so I've turned the camera down a little bit so you can maybe see what I'm doing. So I will take the leaf and gently wipe it down from top to bottom. By the way, I normally would not buy something with very clear infestation, but this was the last one they had and I really wanted it and it looked very pretty, and also it was only like I think €1.25, something like that. Not more than €2. I know that I can save this, it's going to be fine, I'll get rid of the pests, and even if I don't, it's only €2, you know what I mean? The risks were worth it to me and it wasn't that bad. Like, I know I'll be able to get rid of this, so. Before you buy a plant and take home a plant, inspect it, absolutely inspect it. The top of the leaves, the bottom of the leaves, especially the stalks. If you can maybe even check the roots, if you can lift it out of its pot, things like that. But before you bring a plant into your home, you want to know that it's healthy to begin with. Now, there are a lot of people who are able to rehab plants, and that may be your thing, and that's fine. But especially if you don't know too much and you are not planning to take care of them too much, absolutely make sure you're getting a healthy plant to start with, and you're gonna do so much better after it gets home. Because if you buy a plant that's already in bad quality and bad shape and it has had a rough time, if you're not able to take care of it well in your home after you bring it home, it's going to die or it's going to look real shit real soon. I'm trying very hard to be very gentle because the nooks and crannies is where the new leaves are coming out, and I don't want to break them off, but I need to get in there or else like spider mites are going to live on this thing for the rest of my life. Now I will let this quarantine as well as the Monstera, and by quarantine I mean it's just going to stay away several feet from the rest of any other of my plants for a couple of weeks. Your first instinct when you get a plant home is to add it next to your collection in the right spot where it's gonna look beautifully and add to your collection. This is an absolute mistake, because while on first inspection your plant may not have any bugs or problems or things like that, there are things you can miss. Even people like me who look at every plant and check it that it's fine before I buy it, we can miss things because these bugs are absolutely microscopic, and if the infestation isn't very big, you will not spot it right away. And then if you let it near the other of your houseplants, that infestation is going to spread like wildfire, and all of your plants are going to get the problem as well, and you absolutely want to avoid that at all costs. So both of these plants are going to go away from the rest of my collection, and normally when I get multiple plants at the same time I would quarantine them together, but since this one definitely had an infestation and I'm not sure about the Monstera, I will separate them too as well, and they will be separate, so just in case that this one gives something to that one or that one gives something to this one, I don't want to deal with it again. That was very long-winded and I could have said that in literally 10 words or something. So yeah, that's a little tiny family photo for you guys. But yeah, that's it. That's the video.